This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Back again.
Well, Frank is going to talk about one of my favorite people in history, and that's Arthur Capper.
Of course, the Capper Foundation here in Topeka, you're probably familiar with, and he got that started.
Yeah, and then, of course, there's so many manifestations of his business still around.
Yeah.
You know, with Ogden Publications, and is Wren one of Arthur Capper's?
No, but he and Alf Landon were somewhat contemporaries.
I thought they I know that they were they spent some of the same airspace together, didn't they?
Well, they were of the same political ilk.
They sure were.
Yeah, but that's when really, though, Kansas, believe it or not, Kansas was a huge leader in national politics for many, many years. Arthur Capper, and of course Stauffer and Landon.
And before that, Charles Curtis. You know, he was the first Republican Senate Majority Leader. You know, and famous for crossing the aisle and compromise and all that. Remember reading about that in the history books, Frank? Yeah, when people would actually compromise and get stuff done. Yes, children, we'll talk about that one day. In the meantime, let's take a look at
Arthur Capper.
Amazing Kansan.
Arthur Capper was proud of the fact that he was the first governor born in Kansas, born in Garnett on the heels of the Civil War and just weeks after the Lincoln assassination. Capper was to find himself in the midst of history. According to the Kansas State Historical Society, at the age of 14, he became a printer's devil with the Garnett Journal. After graduation from high school, Capper went to work as a typesetter for the Topeka Daily Capital. Working his way up at the newspaper, he became an editor and served as correspondent for the state legislature and U.S. Congress. In 1892, Capper married Florence Crawford, daughter of Governor Samuel Crawford. The couple had no children. Capper left Kansas and took a position with the New York Tribune. He worked later as a congressional correspondent in Washington, D.C., before returning to his native state. Capper purchased two Topeka newspapers, the Mail and the Breeze. He later acquired controlling interest in the Daily Capital. By 1911, the Saturday Evening Post called Capper's Capital one of the best and brightest dailies in the West. Capper became the 20th governor of Kansas, serving 2 terms, followed by 5 terms as U.S. Senator 1919 to 1949. In 1927, Capper purchased WIBW, among the first radio stations in the state. An advocate of children's welfare, Capper established a number of events and programs to assist the state's youth. The Capper Birthday Party was a popular summer event from 1908 until 1951, when the flood forced its cancellation. He established agricultural clubs that loaned money to students so they could start modest businesses. These clubs eventually merged into the 4-H movement. To benefit children with disabilities, Capper formed a foundation in Topeka in 1920. He also organized the Goodfellows Club of Topeka. Capper became one of the nation's leading publishers of the decade and was featured on the cover of Time magazine. He served as the chair of the Senate's Agriculture and Forestry Committees during the 80th Congress and chose not to seek re-election in 1948. Arthur Capper died December 19, 1951 in Topeka.
Welcome to the Jerry Thomas Gallery and Collection, where we showcase my renowned frontier military and Native American artifacts. Behind me you see a touch of fall. We put together not only the beauty of Micah Highwalking, who is the first graduate of West Point of the Northern Cheyenne people and a dear friend, but also a Hudson's Bay blanket that I have here in the gallery. The unique opportunity that I was able to have was we unveiled this painting and surprised Micah at Custer Battlefield, a true honor.